Nate, this is a fascinating story, and most Americans have never heard of it. What more can you tell us?
Hi there, Christian. You're correct. Most Americans have never heard of Peter MacDonald, but the story of the former Navajo chairman's fall from power, the deadly riot that ensued, and the prison time he was sentenced to could foreshadow a similar path former President Donald Trump is now taking. A chief executive refuses to accept the results of a democratic process. A deadly riot ensues. It didn't just happen in Washington.
Next speaker, Mr. Peter MacDonald, chairman of America's Indian tribe, the Navajo Nation.
In 1989, the Navajo tribal government ousted Chairman Peter MacDonald Sr.
Thank you very much.
Over corruption and bribery allegations.
I led the investigation into Peter MacDonald.
Ken Ballen was the chief counsel on U.S. Senate Indian Affairs Committee. He recently wrote an op-ed for CNN.com contending the MacDonald case requires Donald Trump be prosecuted for instigating the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. While Trump has been indicted on campaign finance offenses and for allegedly mishandling classified documents, he so far has not been charged with any crimes for January 6th.
The Navajo Nation's tribal council, which functions like our Congress, after our hearings, voted to remove MacDonald from power. In April of 1989, he led a group of his supporters, encouraged them to go and retake his rightful chairmanship, even saying, if we have to fight, let them fight.
The riots were at tribal headquarters in Window Rock, Arizona. 2 demonstrators died. Police were assaulted. A tribal government building was ransacked.
These were the same, almost the exact same words President Trump would use on January 6th.
Will stop the steal.
Like President Trump, Chairman MacDonald was not at the site of the riot. He let his people go in.
In 1992, a federal jury in Arizona convicted MacDonald of conspiracy and burglary in relation to the riot.
You did not have to show that MacDonald intended directly for 2 people to die.
Yeah, I thought it was a great comparison.
Ezra Rosser is a professor at American University. His expertise includes Indian law.
Part of the MacDonald story that is sort of after the fact is the way government institutions on the reservation changed to prevent this happening in the future. And we as a country have not done that.
I did not know I was going to be a code talker.
MacDonald was sentenced to 14 years in prison.
So if the rule of law is to apply equally to everyone, if it applies to an indigenous tribal leader, well, then it surely must apply to the President of the United States as well.
President Bill Clinton commuted MacDonald's sentence in 2001. MacDonald was a Navajo code talker during World War II. In 2017, then President Trump welcomed him and a few remaining code talkers to the White House.
Mr. President, we know you'll succeed. America is in good hands.
That's really good stuff there, Nate. I have to ask, since we've talked about the parallels in these 2 cases, is there anything former President Trump's attorneys can learn from Peter MacDonald's defense?
Nothing helpful. I asked that of Ballen and Rosser, and they didn't have good answers for the Trump defense team. Should be pointed out that MacDonald did appeal his convictions, and he lost all those appeals. The convictions were upheld.
Nate Carlisle, investigative reporter for Scripps News, Salt Lake City. Thank you so much for joining us.